Manhood Rising Kings and Queens, Trap Witch here, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, with 2 busted nails and a cup of Cafe Bustelo. I am a spiritual intuitive healer slash Instagram influencer. My page is a platform for collective healing, and I am here to bring you a message for Gemini's full moon. You can follow me on Instagram, TheTrapWitch. I do individual healing sessions, and for those of you who have already been following me for the longest and fuck with me and my messages, I appreciate you for always bringing your presence here for what do I have to say. For me, Gemini, right? Gemini, the twins, for me represents duality. And a lot of Geminis that I meet are extremes. They are extremes. Gemini is so full of passion, but at the same time, sometimes that passion can mislead them to go too far and to be their own demise. So for me, I know I have a few friends that are Geminis. Usually you want the good twin or the bad twin. The truth is that the twins serve purpose, duality, interchangeable, but knowing not when to go to certain extremes that causes you to be conflicted, causes you your own demise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap into spirit and to illuminate what my spirit guides have to say for this Gemini new moon, so that we can bring forth positive energy to make the manifestations, the changes, and implement the energy that we need to be of service to ourselves, and so we're not of extreme disservice. For me now, personally, what the Gemini new moon has brought up for me is that I love that I've walked my path as a spiritual healer via being an Instagram influencer, but I also do walk the traditional path of traditional African religion. I am a child of Ochun, now preparing to become what we call a Iyawo, a bride of joining and marrying to spirit to become a practitioner or a priestess, so that I can serve my community based on tradition, but also implementing what I have accumulated as a modern day witch. I feel like it's very necessary that we have also desires but discipline, and my desires to heal the collective has come true by gaining popularity, sometimes not good and sometimes you know, positive, but you know, all publicity is good publicity, they say. But either way, my struggles have been staying honest and with integrity and authenticity to myself and my spirits, so that this life of duality creates balance and it doesn't create an extreme that is harmful. And that's what I will say to any budding healers or influencers or practitioners, is that we need balance. We do need new, we do need old. We need to make sure that they serve one another. And so let's not forget that a lot of practice is built on the shoulders of the past, and therefore we continue to take what has been working and only make it better, because that's what evolution is built on. So before I ramble off too much, we are going to go ahead, and if you want to grab a notebook so that you can take some notes, because although this is for the new moon energy, you might have something that comes up a week later and you're going to be like, wow, Trap Witch said that, and now that makes so much sense, and now I know how to go about something that I might be dealing with. So grab you a refreshment, grab you some notebooks, paper, pad, whatever have you, and get yourself centered and get yourself focused so that we can align these energies and get you going where you need to go. All right. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's take a few deep breaths. Let's say 5. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's leave all the bullshit of what's been going on so we can get centered and we can prepare to move past it and move forth. Ready? Spirit, I call you in on behalf of the collective. I ask for the highest good of all those involved with harm to none. I ask Elegua to open the roads to precise messages. I ask, what is it subconsciously below the surface beyond the veil that can facilitate in the collective's highest good now with the new moon energy in Gemini, the divine twins moving forth in duality so that we can maintain balance and equilibrium in our life between the light and the shadow. We ask at this time, what barriers, obstacles may we need to overcome so that we can tap into our highest potential energies, to be of good intention and proper attention to the correct things, so that we can execute with logic and not just lead by emotions, so that we may have not only emotional intelligence but spiritual stamina. I call in my ancestors, my Egun, my spirit guides, ascended masters of benevolence only, and I ask for the collective at this time. What is a message that we need to keep in mind when using this new moon energy to bring forth manifestations that we can use to work alongside our ritual and our hard work so that we may create an existence for ourselves that is filled with power, control, and respect and love for ourselves, first and foremost, above all, to be of servitude to not only us, but to also others. All right, let's cut it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I love how these cards are falling. Let's get into this, shall we? First card is the Magic Mirror card. What I love about this card, and excuse my cuts, I fucked up my hands royally this week busting open coconuts. The Divine Twins comes up in this card. So what a fitting card, and it talks about the magic mirror. Let's look at this card. In the traditional tarot, this is actually the moon card, okay? This, by the way, this deck is by Sally Ann Glassman. It's the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot deck, and later on I'll be pulling from the Doreen Virtue Archangel deck, okay? The magic mirror. The magic mirror is the invisible line that separates the visible world from the invisible world. And what this talks about is how often what you see in the mirror is based on the heart of the magician, okay? A lot of us get caught up in mirrors, and this is something that I say a lot of times. Always start with what is important in the spiritual realm before you even fuck with the physical realm. A lot of us will be deceived by the mirrors that are presented in front of us, okay? Every person walking through this existence is a mirror for you. And a lot of us get caught up in smoke in mirrors, okay? Smoke and mirrors, illusions, things that look like what we want to be, but not necessarily in our heart desire to be. And so right now, the Divine Twins, right? Let's look at this. This is what's coming through to me. A lot of people are duplicating what they see, and in their hearts, they feel like sometimes they're doing things, but they know intuitively that this might not be. The moon card does talk about shadows, and what I'm hearing is everything done in the darkness is also often come to light. Everything that's not being handled as spiritually will physically come to be. Okay? Everything that's done in the darkness spiritually always comes to light. Karma, that's what's coming up. Karma. Do not get so caught up in what you see that you will fuck your own karma up. Monkey see, monkey do. What does your heart tell you that you need to do? What does it tell you deep within the shadows that you need to do for yourself? Because a lot of people are wandering around lost. They're wandering from this thing to that thing, following this person to the next person, lost as a motherfucker. Why? Because you keep getting confused. You keep getting confused. And how can you avoid confusion if you don't take the time to really tap into your consciousness and ask yourself what your intuition is really trying to fucking tell you? The second card is the Eight of Cups, okay? Simbi Delau in this deck. And this card shows a snake that's eating up all the other fucking snakes. And it talks about how we can be doing things or saying things, and it's not even through malice, it's through confusion. And a lot of the things that we see in the mirrors only confuses us fucking further, okay? We see the mirror of what something we want to look like, but not necessarily what we want to feel like, and one confused thing leads another person to more confusion. A lot of people just wander aimlessly, lost, without really asking themselves, what am I trying to do for myself on my own individual lone path, and not just following people that look like the same path that I'm going on. This is something that I've been talking about for the past 2 days, where a lot of us are on the spiritual journey and we want to just jump into following people that look like they're doing what the fuck we want to be doing, and some of them not even doing it right. Some of them not even doing it right. A lot of people are going to lead you off a fucking cliff, you know? And that's the thing. It's time for you to take an individual journey. A lot of you are emotionally tapped out, and you got to honor the emotions of really what you're feeling in your heart. You're listening to a lot of mirrors that are telling you how you should feel, what you should feel. A lot of people might watch this video and hit the dislike button on me. And guess what? I might not be for them. That's I'm not the mirror that they need to see. I'm not giving them what they need to feel. And that doesn't make me wrong. It doesn't make them right. But at the end of the day, a lot of times we will fight. We will fight the truth. A lot of us fight the mirrors because sometimes they're showing us what we really need to see and not what we want to see. And a lot of people get caught up in the mirrors that they want to see and what they want to look like, that they don't realize that the people that are actually doing what's best for them is really telling you the truth of, you know what you're feeling, although it's the truth and it tastes bad to swallow, some of the best fucking medicine is the hardest to swallow. Because trying to ignore what your spirit is telling you intuitively and continue to wandering around just following what looks like the mirror of what you want to be, you're going to continue to go to extremes, and extremes of bullshit of doing disservice to yourself. Because Aida Wado, the third card, the Ace of Cups, you're going to just cut yourself off from the abundance and prosperity of overflow that you really need for your spirit and for your soul. To have true mirrors, to have true things that you realize that, man, you know what? They might have told me, showed me things that I didn't want to see, but that extreme duality balance was what I needed, okay? Again, divine twins. Not good or bad for me right now, but light and dark. Sometimes the twin that comes forward as the dark twin that's about to, what we think, you know, rain on our parade, is actually the darkness of the truth coming to light, to be like, you know what? You putting out this false light that's a bunch of bullshit, and I might come and be the bad guy to you right now, but it's going to do you a service in the long run. I'm the bad guy to a lot of people. I always compare myself now to the scene of Tony and Montana and Scarface, where I come to what seems like rain on a lot of people's fucking parade, but guess what? After the rain sometimes comes a fucking rainbow. And some of us will bow down to what looks like glitter and gold, but it is fool's gold, because you're only fucking fooling yourself to think that your prosperity is going to be gained by just everything you want to hear and fucking want to see. Okay? You have to really find new beauty in the way that you do things. The fourth card is Congo Unsi. It shows a woman Urzuli, who is a love goddess, and she's creating a safe abode for her now dead husband so that their romance can exist on another plane. Whenever I pull this card, I always say, it has nothing to do necessarily with a man. It has to do with your divine masculine and the way that you fucking do things, okay? And finding beauty in the way that you do things, maybe not how you've been doing things, okay? A lot of us do things, right? And we're like, oh, that's pretty. Oh, it just looks so pretty. It just feels so pretty. Honey, a lot of the healing that you're going to be doing, it's not going to be pretty. A lot of the growth that you're going to be doing, it's not going to be pretty. A lot of the magic that you want to come forth in your life is not going to come from pretty situations. It's going to come from sacrifice, blood, tears. A lot of people are getting caught up, like I said, in the images of what looks like pretty healing. You're getting caught up in what it looks like. It's colorful. It's pretty. It's a lot of what we need to find is in that gray area. It's in that balance. It's in that line between the invisible and the physical. Okay? It's knowing how to navigate through the darkness into the light. Because it's not all love and light. It's not all just like, oh, this is. No. Find beauty in doing what is best for you, that doesn't keep you in constant conflict. Because Urzuli again, Urzuli La Flambeau, the last card coming up reverse, the love goddess again, she's torn. Things that she loves, but she's also still feeling hate. Love and hate is two sides of the same coin. Again, extreme conflict, extremities. I love this, I hate this. I love this, I hate this. It's always about finding the balance that you need, sometimes in the gray and in the in-between. Knowing how to constantly transmute energy. Okay? A lot of people think that you have to be a good witch or a bad witch. It's in the heart, right? Good witch, bad witch, it's in the heart. You know, you could be a bad bitch. You know, you could use it in that term. But the thing is this. Being that magic is in the heart of the practitioner, the person who's putting it to practice. Right now, you could be lying to yourself and say, oh, I'm being the best witch or the best person that I can be because I'm putting out all of this, you know, positivity and this prettiness and the glitter and the gold. And you could still be conflicted as a motherfucker inside because your heart knows that you're lying to yourself. Your intuition knows that you're lying to yourself. And so you just need to be fucking honest. So that you can really get to your abundance and to your overflow. To find that balance in between. A lot of people just want to ignore a lot of things and it's not going to work. What is a rose without thorns? A lot of times we want the beauty of the rose, but we're not willing to prick our fingers to get a hold of it. And a lot of us want the pretty things, but we're not willing to prick our fingers and shed a little blood, sweat, and tears in order to be able to hold it. And right now you have to ask yourself, if you really want to hold the magic, what blood, sweat, and tears and getting a hold of the things and a grasp of the things that you need to get a grasp of are you willing to do to really bring true beauty to your life that often is not based out of pretty things? I love that this reading is probably going to be just short and sweet. We at 18 minutes now. Let's go ahead and pull an angel card. I ain't into too much long talking today. What's the angel card going to be? Breathe. Archangel Raphael, take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release old patterns. You know what the problem is with a lot of people, especially when it comes to their healing and their longevity? They worried about the sprint and not the endurance. A lot of y'all trying to sprint to the finish line of what looks like success, and it looks like achieving something, and it looks like you've made it to the gold. But if you don't know how to pace yourself, You're going to be out of breath and on the sidelines and not even get to really the finish line of where you want to be. And the truth is, it ain't no fucking race. We don't need to be racing. We don't need to be competing. We need to be worried about keeping up with ourselves in balance so that we are not going to extremes and doing the worst before we even become our best. A lot of people want to skip steps. You cannot skip steps in your healing. When you skip steps, the grief, the hurt, the things that you want to ignore are bound to catch up with you. The things that are in your heart that you're ignoring, they're bound to catch up with you. So stop worrying about what the fuck you look like in the mirror. Oh, I look like I'm healed. I look like I'm doing good. I look like a witch. I look like this. Stop worrying what the fuck you look like. The proof in the pudding is how you feel. That when you talk and when you walk, you know that you are not lying to yourself. You are not conflicted. You are not putting out false beauty just so that you don't come off like, for what? Release that shit. Take a breath. Take a walk. You don't gotta sprint. Walk. Because a lot of y'all are just wandering around, running around, fucking lost. Running here, running there. Who got the answers? You got this? You got that? Oh my God. Now I'm going to get... The only thing you need to worry about is being a better version of yourself that you were than yesterday. And that will take releasing a lot of your old bullshit patterns. And some of y'all's bullshit patterns is trying to fake it. Trying to run, trying to fake it. Trying to this, trying to that. Conflicted than a mug. Confused as a mug. Not using your logic, not using your intelligence. Being fueled by your emotions and by your ego. And if you are fueled by your emotions and your ego, you're going to continue to be confused. And you're going to continue to true up everybody because you don't even know yourself. Because you're looking in the mirror and you're lying to yourself. Light and dark. Sometimes the shit that you want to hear is going to be the dull, what you think is dull shit. Oh, she said it. It was just like, that's not glittery and not like how I wanted to hear it. So fucking what? It's what you needed to hear. So let's ask Spirit now to help us. You hear that thunder? That's Chongo. Who's Chongo? Chongo is the Orisha of passion, justice, and balance. And you know what? That's a sign for me to tell you. Chongo is a spirit in West African tradition who was an almighty king. But just, and here comes Oya with the wind. Just like becoming king, and with him, often himself, he was his biggest disservice to himself. Because sometimes he would put his ego before his intelligence. And that caused him to be his own demise. And a lot of y'all need to stop putting your ego before your intelligence. Stop putting your emotions before your evolution. Okay? Your emotions and your desires and your passions to wanna do shit fast and because you want it, because of your desires, fucking you up. Okay? Oya, who's Oya? Oya is the Orisha or energy of life, death, and transformation. And she often comes and she pulls the rug from up under you and she causes chaos in your life to destroy what is false, to leave you with what is worth being preserved, to build from it. And a lot of y'all's egos and falsehoods are getting pulled up from under you right now so that you could preserve what is actually good and build from that shit. You got to break down the falsehoods. You got to break down sometimes the ego and the pride and realize that you got to really do what you need to do out of self-love for yourself in order to be the best version of yourself, not only for yourself, but for others. And as someone who's walking to be a leader and a healer of others, how can I be real with y'all if I'm not real with myself? And I'm always real. Even when I don't want to fucking hear it from people, they tell me. And sometimes I fight it and I was like, you know what, I got to surrender to it, because I keep running myself around in circles on the hamster wheel, and I'm out of breath because I'm trying to sprint when I need to just fucking slow down and take a breath and inhale the good shit to exhale the bullshit. Okay? All right. Let's put our hands down on the root chakras today, okay? Because I think a lot of us need to get the fuck out of our egos, out of our insecurities, out of our falsehoods of foundations, and we need to release that shit, okay? Spirit, we call you in now to ask us to release any falsehoods, any insecurities, anything that is built off of insecurity, out of impulse, out of instant gratification, that is not serving us in our long-term healing and evolution. We ask that all false mirrors be broken down in our life. We ask that the mirrors in front of us that we may even be looking in ourselves, that we take off the mask and we be real with ourselves and realize that the best healing that we need is not a good, sometimes easy pill to swallow. And we're just going to have to take our time and slowly digest it. We ask that we do what is best for ourselves in the long term, so that we are not going to constant extremes of being passive or being too persuaded that we got to run fast and then crash. We ask that we keep balance between our dark and our light energies, between the divine masculine and the divine feminine, between in the gray area, so that we can always see both sides of the spectrum of what we are doing right, but also what we are doing wrong. We ask that the energy of Gemini and the divine twins bring duality to our life to understand the importance of seeing both sides of the spectrum and beyond just the mirror, up into the spiritual world, so that we can see through the bullshit of the physical world. We ask that we release everything that is false and that we are conflicted in, so that we can plant new seeds of prosperity to bring us longevity and truly what we need to be of servitude to ourselves, and secondly to others in the collective healing. The rain is falling, right? The rain is falling right now. I can hear it. And the rain is about to soften the soil so we can plant new seeds. And so we ask that as the soil softens, we plant seeds that will only bring forth growth, that will ascend us up to our highest self and the real growth that we need to constantly feed us in the long term. May we stop planting seeds of falsehood. May we stop planting seeds that keep us barren. May we stop planting seeds that keep us burdened. We ask that going into the summer months, we plant seeds that will only bring us great harvests of abundance and prosperity based on our truth, that we can eat from in the harvest fall months and help us survive through winter. All of this we ask. Ache. With that being said, I went on longer than I should have. Anyway, we had 28 minutes now. If this is something that you've needed to hear, feel free to share. Share with your friends, share with your family. Some of them not going to want to hear it, but they might need to hear it. Either way, we on to bigger, better things by being honest and truthful with ourselves. So, let's go ahead and make the best of this energy. All right? If you want to book a one-on-one session with me, www.thetrapwitch.com, or you could just follow me on Instagram for now, The Trap Witch, and get some of the healing that you need. You might need to baby step it towards a session. A lot of people say, man, I'm afraid to book with you. I ain't ready to hear it. But guess what? The sooner that we deal with the old shit, we can bring in the new shit. So don't be afraid. Scared money don't make no money. And you got to be willing to invest in yourself in the long term. And some of the biggest investments that we need are going to be a really big sacrifice. But if you want to go big, go big. Go big or go fucking home. And you can't be at home in yourself if you are falsely housing things within you that aren't true to your spirit's evolution in the long term, okay? Love, light, good shit to you all, and I hope to be talking with some of y'all soon. Blessings.